Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about my favorite and not so favorite foundations. As you guys know, I have acne prone skin. I capitalize on that because, everybody got nice skin on YouTube. So I want to talk about my problematic skin and talk about the foundations that I've really been loving and some foundations that just does not work well with my skin. Besides the fact that my skin is problematic with acne scars and stuff like that, so I do need to gear towards fuller coverage foundations. I also have really oily skin, so I try to get foundations that really gear to my skin type, but sometimes I really just have an urge to get dewy foundation, which obviously does not work well with me because of the fact that my skin is very oily. So if you have oily skin, don't get dewy foundations and then expect your skin to look matte, because it's not gonna happen. Dewy foundations are better for people with dry to normal skin so that they won't have excessive oils coming out, plus the fact that the foundation is gonna produce a certain amount of oils to create the dewiness of the foundation, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna talk about the foundations that I've been loving lately, and then I'm gonna talk about some foundations that just didn't work out for me, not because they're not full coverage, not because they're not matte enough or whatever the case is, just because sometimes it just does not work out. So the first foundation, I did a review on it a couple weeks ago, and it's the NYX Total Control foundation, and I got this from IMATS and I've really been loving it. I have to end up highlighting and contouring when it comes to this foundation because I ended up getting the darkest color. I don't think this is the darkest color, but I ended up getting a dark shade that does not match me, so it comes off a little warm. So I have to get something to kind of counteract with the warmth of the foundation, but otherwise the foundation lasts throughout the whole day. I don't get any excessive oils. It doesn't settle into my fine lines. Literally, the foundation is perfection. And due to the fact that the foundation, depending on how much you put on, is very buildable, you can be able to work around it and get light coverage, or you can get full-on coverage. No matter how many marks or whatever you have on your skin, this foundation can work well with almost anybody. So I really love this foundation. The only thing that I don't like about this foundation is the fact that it's $15 and you have to end up buying it online because most of the time you're not going to see it in store, so you have to pay for shipping and all that. So the foundation kind of comes around to like $20-something, which sucks. The next foundation that I really love is the Lancome Idole Ultra 24 Hour foundation. This foundation I ended up getting in gratis, so I ended up trying it. I got a whole bunch of them in gratis when I was working at Sephora, so I was blessed. Okay, so I ended up getting it in the shade 510, and it is really good for people with I want to say normal to oily skin. I don't really see much of a difference if you have dry skin, but it gives you like a nice satin finish, so it's very moderate. Some of the times with foundations, it's hard for me to determine if it's good for oily skin or not, because regardless of anything, I put on my Mocha magnesia, so I don't really get any excessive oiliness when it comes to most of my foundations because I'm already covered. Like, my Mocha magnesia got me, so I don't really have that concern nor problems. But I really love this because it gives you like a nice skin-like finish. So if I want to look really natural but I still want to look done up, I usually use this foundation. But I don't use it on a daily basis because it is very expensive. And being that I got it for free and gratis, I don't want to use up the whole thing and then I'm asked out. So I try to use this for special occasions or for my clients. This foundation is around 40-something, I think $50, so it is type expensive. But it's really good. It's a really good investment. You do get full coverage. It's very buildable. You don't need a color corrector for this. Like, it's really good. Same for the next one. You don't need a color corrector. It's not really necessary. You just have to build it up. The next foundation that I've really been loving is the Maybelline Fit Me Foundation. This is the cheapest foundation of all that I have for my favorites. And this is the matte and poreless one for normal to oily skin. So I've really been loving this because it gives me a beautiful coverage. I used it today, as you guys can see, and you guys can't see any of my oils, or you guys can see any of my scars or dark marks or hyperpigmentation. I didn't color correct or anything like that. This is in the shade Mocha, and I thought it was coconut, but Mocha fits me perfectly because it matches my neck. So I've really been loving this. I love the fact that they have a wide shade range. Both foundations that I showed you prior has the widest shade range ever. I don't know. I really commend the companies for expanding the shade range to that extent because sometimes as a woman of color, it is hard to find a foundation that fits you, and depending on what type of neighborhood you live in, it makes it even worse, because most of the time, if you live in a predominantly black neighborhood, you're not going to find the foundation that fits you because everybody done got it. So when you go into different neighborhoods and you can find your foundation, it's like, damn, like I have to go out my way to find it. I love the fact that they have a wide shade range for this, and this foundation is only like, I think it's under $10. I think it was around $6 or $7 at Target. I got a whole bunch for my clients as well, and I'm gonna be getting some more. This is a really good foundation to add to your kit if you're a freelance makeup artist as well, so keep that in mind. On to the foundations that I haven't been loving, that it didn't work out for me, like it's a no. So I really wanted to love this foundation. This is a Sephora collection foundation, and it says Teint Perfection 10-Hour Wear Perfection Foundation, and this is in the color 55. I really loved the foundation for the coverage, for the finish, but the shade range is very, very limited. This is the second to last darkest color in the collection, and I feel like as Sephora being a makeup brand, you would think that they will have a wider shade range, but they really don't. So I have to end up highlighting and contouring in order to get the perfect shade, or I have to end up mixing this foundation with something else. So that really sucks. So that's the reason why this foundation didn't work out for me. Other than that, it's a good foundation, but I feel like they need to expand the shade range because it defeats the purpose of you being a makeup brand. That's like MAC not having a wide enough shade range. Granted, they end up always giving us the same fucking shade, but for Sephora brand, they should have a wider shade range for their foundation. Just saying. This foundation retails for $20, and they have the setting powders to go with it. So yeah, Sephora, get it together, please. Next foundation that I didn't really like is a Black Opal True Color foundation. I've seen a lot of people talking about this foundation, and I was just like, let me go try it. This is in the color Black Walnut. I have it in the color, I forgot, the shade lighter. I'm gonna put it on the screen because I forgot it. But both of these colors are too orange. I don't know what it is about darker shades. Once they make foundations for darker shades, a lot of companies, they fuck up in this aspect. They make it orange, and I'm just like, who the fuck is orange? Like, nobody's orange, bro. Like, can you make the right shade? Like, that should be getting me tight. This is supposed to be a pore perfecting liquid foundation. I mean, I wore it once and I literally look like a fucking Oompa Loompa, and I don't really understand how that's possible. So I was really, really disappointed by that. I don't really know about the pore perfecting and all that extra shit, but I was really upset about this foundation. Like, the last foundation that I didn't really enjoy is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow. This is another foundation that came off very, very orange to me, and I was just really, really just disappointed by that. As far as it being glowy, yes, I do get glowy, dewy, whatever you want to call it. I'm an oily girl, so I'm gonna get glowy or dewy, whatever. Yeah, but this foundation is just too red. You can work around this foundation and mix it with something else, but I hate the fact that I always have to do that. I don't mind highlighting and contouring to balance it out, but the fact that I always have to mix it with something else, that kind of clouds my judgment on how the foundation holds up on its own. So it defeats the purpose. They just came out with their concealer line for this exact collection, the L'Oreal Pro Glow. So I'm definitely gonna be buying them. I haven't seen any swatches. They didn't send out any PR packages, so I haven't seen any swatches on the collection as yet, but I'm gonna buy the two darkest colors that I see on Amazon because that's the only place that I see that has them. So the two darkest colors that I see is Cocoa and I forgot the other name. I'm gonna buy those two, and they retail for $8.99 on Amazon. I don't know how much they're gonna be in store. They're probably gonna be around the same price, and I'm gonna do my favorite concealer and not so favorite concealer video. So I'm gonna compare and contrast. So if you want to see that, make sure to thumbs up. I'll probably put like a poll on the top of this so you guys can like vote on what you want to see. I want to do a favorite powder and a favorite concealer, a favorite primer video, just so you guys can see what primers, foundations, concealers, things like that that will be good for your skin type. And if you do relate to my skin type, you can refer and reference to these videos to make it easier for you to make your purchases. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this informative video on what foundations will probably work well with you. Most of the foundations, they're workable. You can try to find a way to make it work for you, but personally it just didn't work out for me, and I feel like if I have to go out my way just to make a foundation look good, then I might as well make my own fucking foundation if that's the case. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.